Hey, welcome back. She is still Ash Ortega.
And she is still Michelle Santo.
And you are still listening to The Spookiness of It All. Spooky, spooky. Hi guys, we're back and Ash is eating hot Cheetos and I am here for it.
You are such a bitch.
But I told her that those weren't even the good ones. My favorite quote unquote hot Cheetos are the jalapeno cheddar, and she's like, no, I'm trying to give myself an ulcer.
I was the hot Cheeto girl in high school.
Funny story, when Lena had her oldest, she called me that morning at 5 something in the morning, and she's like, yeah, so I'm going to the hospital. I'm in labor with Indianola. I told you I would remember I'm not going to say her name, but I will say Lena's name. But she's like, I'm in labor with Indianola, and by the way, when you come to the hospital, can you bring me some Flamin' Hot Cheetos?
Nice.
True story, she's up there, just gave birth, horking down Flamin' Hot Cheetos like crazy. True story. When we last left off, when we last left off, we were again getting into talking about what Auntie Colette had said about the only thing you're actually talking to is demons. We've kind of talked about that. And you were talking about a lot of times mediums are using tools, and you were also said something about maybe they are not using the tools properly. Now, I'm going to tell you, the only tool that I know of, faux show, I'm scared AF of, and I have got a story about it. The only tool that I can think of that you might possibly be referencing, and you can go into and expand and expound and all of the X's if you wish, but I'm only thinking one thing, dude. Ouija board.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Fuck that shit to the 9th degree. The nth degree.
Yeah, no, not a fan.
The 37th echelon of hell. No, thank you. So let me tell you my story about Ouija board. I think I've probably told you before, but I'm going to tell you again because even though I'm talking to you, we are talking to our listeners. And again, guys, we're always going to invite you to weigh in on anything that we have a conversation about. It is always going to be TheSpookinessofitAll at gmail.com. Feel free to weigh in. So just put in the subject line what you're weighing in about, and so that we know right off the top what's going on. Anyway, yeah, so Ouija boards. I'm going to go back I'm going to hop in the Wayback Machine. You ready? Come with me, Mr. Peabody. We're going back to 15 and 16-year-old Michelle. It's a ways. Almost, quite a... Whew. That was a dizzy trip. Here we are. Here we are in 1989. And
I was barely a non-sperm by then. It was 3.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, so when I was in high school, when I was a freshman and a sophomore in high school, I went to A. Crawford Mosley High School in Panama City, Florida. Because while I am a native Texan, we did move all over the South with my granddad's job, working, the kind of job he did, he would get headhunted by bigger companies, and they would offer him, here, I'm going to throw you ridiculous amounts of money, Mr. Wilson, come work for us. And he would be, okay, and off we would go to the next job, So anyway, for those 2 years, I was in high school, my my freshman and sophomore year at A. Crawford Mosley High School, where I happened to meet one of the sweetest human beings on the planet. At this point, we already figured out that Michelle is shit at trying to remember names, so I'm just going to say it, because I'm not going to mention any last names, but I had a very best friend at that time whose name was Layla. Now, complete, cute, fun side note, do you know why my friend's name was Layla?
Why?
Her mother was a roadie for Clapton.
Nice.
Yeah, True story. But anyway, and I love her mother to this day. We're still friends on Facebook. Like, I keep up with the fam keeps up with me. It's great stuff. Anyway, Layla and I were very close, and we would spend as many overnight. It's humorously enough, it always seemed like I always spent the night at her house. She never came and spent the night at mine. I wonder why that was. I don't know. Anyway, I spent quite a bit of time at Layla's, and there was a cabinet, pantry, closet, whatever you want to call it, that had board games. Okay? And in this cabinet, pantry, closet, whatever you want to call it, full of board games, there was a Ouija board. And I'm not talking Parker Brothers. I'm talking from the old world. Came from Germany in God knows what century, made out of wood. Okay?
Right.
This is not your Parker Brothers cardboard. Now, mind you, that doesn't matter, because if the tool is properly used, a piece of notebook paper and a shot glass can open a portal to hell, if you know what you're doing.
True story.
But I'm just saying, it was not your typical Ouija board. I feel like because the materials it was made of and how old it was, that just lent to how fucking phenomenally spooky it was. But that's just me. Right. So, anyway, we played with the board. We got it out without permission, of course, and we played with it in Layla's room. And I'm pretty sure we closed whatever we opened. I don't remember anything super remarkable as far as any kind of interaction or anything. But I very vividly remember putting it back where it goes. And I don't remember why, but the next day, Layla decided we needed to get rid of it, right? So, and again, I don't remember anything remarkable. I just remember that this girl had decided that we were getting rid of this thing. So we busted it up, threw it in a trash bag, walked outside. About that time, here comes the trash man down the street, watched the bag go into the trash truck, watched the trash truck eat the bag. Okay?
Right.
Tell me why the next day that thing was back in the closet.
Yeah, I would have flipped shit.
We did. So we decided, alright then, we just gonna burn this bitch. Took it outside, opened her stepdad's barbecue pit. Well, this is Central Florida. They called it probably a barbecue grill. You know, they ain't Texans. It wasn't a pit. It was a grill.
I was to say, pit?
Doused it with Match King. Lit that thing on fire and watched it burn to ashes. I'm telling you, this is a first-hand experience. We lit it on fire and watched it burn to ash. Ash.
Smartass.
Tell me why it was back in the closet.
Yeah, that would have freaked me the fuck out. And
so, to this day, I don't have no truck with no Ouija board. I don't fuck with Ouija boards. I don't have no. And the thing of it is, I can't remember why we decided that we were going to try to get rid of it. I honestly don't remember. Like, I don't know if something so horrible happened that I just blocked it out, or if it just stupid high school kids. Oh, we're going to get rid of this thing. I don't remember, but it wasn't having it. It said, no, we ain't going that way.
No, you open this door. No, you're going to come play.
So, I honestly don't know. I have not been brave enough to ask Layla's mom if she still has it, whatever happened to it, if they got rid of it, whatever. I've not been brave enough to ask ever. I probably won't ever be that brave, to be honest with you, because I don't want to know the answer. I don't want to know. If you know, you know. It kick.
That's right. And the thing is, like, especially with Ouija boards, and and I'm not saying y'all didn't use it properly. I'm just saying in general, if not used properly, bad juju can happen. Bad juju can happen from just about anything. Like these TikTokers that aren't really using, there's some that don't even use their tarot cards correctly. There's a lot of things that you need to do using divination stuff, and you have to realize that you're inviting stuff in. I spent some time in Nolans. Yes, I said Nolans because I lived there, and they don't like it when you say New Orleans. And I worked at a voodoo shop. True story. And you learn things. And I learned things. And I knew a lot of people that were seers, divination artists, stuff like that. And
okay, but let me ask you, divination artist, is that Louisiana for con artist?
No, a divination artist is basically where they get paid for divination.
Well, I know that, but I was being a smart aleck because honestly, are they honestly always really seeing anything? It was kind of my point. Are they truly seeing stuff, or they're just telling you what you want to fucking hear?
There were a few that actually, I believed that there were a few where I was like, you're so full of shit. And like, you can't bullshit a bullshitter, so I will agree with them and say some outlandish shit and let them go on. And then I'll turn around and tell them I was lying the entire time. And I want my money back. But there were a couple of them. I had the one lady. I was married previously. I got married when I was 16. That was dumb.
Felt that.
The lady read my husband then. Read his mom. And then she looked at me and she touched my hand. She looked back at me and she goes, I can't read you. Why not? I was like, you trying to scare me? I ain't paying anymore. She goes, no, I can't read you.
Oh my God, you're Bella Swan.
No, she just said, that is not, what does she say? She basically told me that, I'm an employee and not a customer. Or basically what she told me. She was like, you don't, I can't read you. I'm not supposed to read you. You got your own juju. And I was like, I don't got juju, bitch. But she would not read me.
I was hoping that you would get that reference.
I know. Oh my God. I know fucking sparkly vampire, bitch. Like, but I will say this. Bella did it all wrong. I'd have had Jacob and the vampire.
Dude, same.
Because, okay. I'd have had them both.
Completely off topic, because, we turn left corners around here. I'm not trying to say nothing negative about Edward Cullen, but if you just didn't know nothing about neither one of them, and you put two pictures up side by side of these fools, I would pick Jacob every time, like, don't care. That boy was beautiful, where I don't think, quote-unquote, Edward Cullen was all that. I mean, unless you're into, pasty motherfuckers, which I am not.
I am. But, listen, I would have played the long game. I would have made the vampire fall in love with me so he could turn me into a vampire. That way, whenever I marry the werewolf later, we can have just massive amounts of crazy vampire sex.
But would you then turn the werewolf into a were-vampire?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Start a whole new breed?
I would do, like, a whole bunch of really sketchy shit. If I was, I'm not even gonna lie. I would do some really sketchy shit if I was a vampire. Also,
I was mad about it when Jake cut his hair.
The reason why, yeah, I was too. The reason why I found Jacob more appealing, and maybe it's just me, but Jacob would be my age and not 1,600 years older than me.
Facts.
if you're a 1700-year-old vampire or a 170-year-old vampire, whatever the fuck the case may be, you're cultured at this point. You've traveled the world, you've done all the things, you're an adult in your brain.
Well,
just like I'm a young person in my brain, but I'm an old lady body.
I mean, 15 will get you 20.
Huh?
15 will get you 20.
Exactly.
At this point, he should be locked up for child molestation. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I didn't understand it in the book. I understood it less in the movie. And I'm like, I get it that he's in a 17-year-old body. But morally speaking, he should have been going for like B. Arthur. I said what I said. What's right is right, you know?
No, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I mean, I don't disagree with you. I am of the generation, when I was coming up, our vampire was Lestat. Sorry. It was. And, okay, still, there's that whole age gap thing. And 15 will get you 20. But I'm just saying that even though, Lestat, he kind of swung both ways or whatever, to me, he was a more manly man than Edward Cullen. I can't believe we completely turned the sideways corner. Let's get back to...
Sorry.
No, it's fine, because that's how we work, and we like to be organic. None of this is rehearsed, guys. When I come to you guys and I tell you a story like about Robert the Doll or Marfa the Lights, if I come and I've done my research, that shit is somewhat rehearsed. Ash's responses and questions are not rehearsed, but when we're talking about this stuff, it's completely organic. We have not rehearsed this at all, so that's why...
And we don't edit shit either. The most we do is put music on.
Yeah,
we have an intro and outro and music.
We don't edit too much either. I did have to learn how to edit because somebody dropped a bomb they shouldn't have dropped the other day, which would have been that somebody would have been me, but I was like, fuck it, I'm not re-recording this. It's been an hour fucking and I dropped it right at the end of the episode, and so I had to go in and learn how to edit that out. And if you are quick and can pick up on stuff like that, you can figure out which episode it was, but generally we don't edit.
Yeah, we're lazy.
Well, we like to be organic. That's why I don't be like, okay, let's wait until you're done eating your flamin' hot Cheetos so you can have flamin' hot butt later. Let's just do this, man. But so going back to the tools, and here's the thing. I have a good friend. I have a really good friend that I've known some 30 years. He is Wiccan. I put a lot of stock in what he says. He has called too much shit over the years for me to not believe in what he has to say. And in fact, in all of the times he's read for me, because I will occasionally go to him and I'll be like, yo, Jimmy, yo, read my cards, yo. Because I don't really talk like that, and that's not really what I said, but I'll ask him to read my cards. And he'll read for me, and in all the times that he's read for me, there's only been one time that it hasn't been in some way, shape, form, or fashion right around the nail head. So I put a lot of stock in that, and I believe that there are people that can see that stuff, and but with tools you have to know. Like, I would not ask you to go out and use a chainsaw and be the guy that cuts down trees if you don't know what end of the saw to hold on to.
Right.
That's a really bad and really gory parallel. But I'm just saying, if you don't know how to use the tool, you got no business wielding it.
Tilt up.
So, there are absolutely right ways and wrong ways. I don't know how to wield the tools, which is why I don't, well, plus two, from everything I understand, it's kind of hard to read your own tools, your own cards. You can't, it's really hard to do, you're not supposed to do your own reading. I do know that, I do know a little bit about a little bit. I know that you can't necessarily do anything for yourself for gain. It backfires phenomenally, and you wind up way far worse off than you ever were.
I mean, and I'm not Wiccan or... I'm a follower of Christ.
Absolutely.
I just happen to be spooky, and I know a lot of things. So I'm debating on whether I want to tell this story or not. It's about a tool.
Hey, if it bears on the conversation and if it will enhance somebody's knowledge, go for it.
Okay, so this is a true story. I remember because I was there.
I was there when I said it.
I used to have a Necronomicon because, you know, when you're a high school kid and you're angsty, and the thing to do to piss off your parents the most is to find the darkest witchcraft book and play with it.
Feel that.
That's what you do, you know.
I never had a Necronomicon, but I absolutely had a book of numbers.
Well, and the thing is, the Necronomicon, you're not supposed to be reading that shit out loud or fucking around with that. And my friends, and I had it just for, you know, shits and giggles to have. I collect occult books. I still collect occult things. Total Christian, but I'm a weird one. And one of those Christians that is just, like, fucking weird. Well,
it's not like you're out there being homies with Anton LaVey. Come on.
No, but I probably would have wanted to smash once. I'm just saying. But, long story short, me and my friends, I was in one of my first apartments, and me and my friends were hanging out, and one of my friends, and all my friends were dudes, facts, I don't hang out with too many chicks.
Same. Chicks will use your toothbrush, wear your clothes, and try to steal your man.
Yep, that's it. And I'll tell you, we're drinking, have a good time, we're all minors. We're all 16, 17. And my friend grabs my Necronomicon and starts mocking the book.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Reading
Please
things
note
out
sarcasm.
loud, talking shit, being obnoxious, and we were like, no. Now I was just in the room, and I'm like, y'all stupid. Well, then another one of my friends, we'll call him Tom. He reads from it for a second, and then the other friend we'll call Jim. He reads from it for a second. So Tad, Todd, Tom, and Jim.
Tad, Todd, Tom, and Jim. I'm with you.
Yeah. So they won after said reading. Okay. And it was my book, so I guess this is why it affected me too. Day one after said mockery reading session.
The mockery out of it all.
Tom's apartment catches fire from a tea light candle. Okay. While he was sleeping. From what I heard, yes. Second day. Jim wrecks his truck. Wrecks it. Okay. Third day. My bedroom, I turn on the light switch, and I for sure fucking happened. Turned on the light switch, looked up. It was very much like Supernatural when they mama go up in flames. The whole ceiling, fire, and then it sucked back into the ceiling. I called the fire department. There's a paper trail. It's a real thing. We couldn't figure out what caused it, but there were scorch marks all over the ceiling. And then the very next day,
You're a Winchester, aren't you?
Huh?
You're a Winchester.
Oh, fuck yeah. You know, just not they mama.
No, they sister, which is bad too, because then you can't even sleep with either one of them.
Oh. Well. It's TV land. I need some Dean Winchester. I have pipe for you.
Yeah. No. You can have Sam. I'm the Dean girl.
No. I don't want that moose. I want Dean. I said what I said. I said what I said. I want Dean in a diner with a pie. We'll play Clue. But no, and then the very last day, Tad wrecks his dad's Trans Am.
So two fires, two automobile accidents.
Yeah, within the 4 days after they all decided to mock that fucking book. By the way, after that happened, and I was living in Moody, Texas at that time, in another haunted house. We'll talk about that at some point.
Good old Moody.
I went to throw out the fucking Necronomicon.
Stupid
but I
idea.
remember throwing it out with my Necronomicon shirt and my pentagram shirt because that shit freaked me out. Threw everything out in the trash. Moody, out there, they pick up that trash. It goes the fuck away. There's no landfill in that area. It goes like to Waco or wherever. I don't know how it ended up in my dresser.
I do.
But when you told me that story, it really reminded me of that. Here's the crazy thing. That same Necronomicon is in my shed right now. When I lost my house, because I lost my house, I had my friend really did me dirty. Took the rent money and left with half my furniture and all my bill money while I was at work. And I lost my house. Luckily, I was dating my husband now at the time. And I moved in with him, and but that was one of the things that was salvaged.
Just so you know, Gary's a goddamn national treasure, and I said what I said.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, national treasure. Here's a fucking gem. He has no idea the Necronomicon's in his shed, though.
Oh, yeah.
These are the things,
things that we do not tell Gary.
Yeah. He would be upset. Because he is like super Christian. But, I mean, he's got a
And he married you.
He
married you.
If I throw it away,
look at you.
then somebody irresponsible will find the book.
Right. Well, I don't think you can throw it away.
I guess the thing. I've had that since I was 15. Yes, I'm stuffing hot Cheetos in my face.
That's okay.
I've had it since I was 15.
Things. You're good.
I've moved like 30 times since then.
Yeah.
Through college. And I'm never super careful with that book when I move. I just throw it somewhere. It'll always end up where I can find it.
See,
so there's that.
I feel like that's an issue.
It's probably an issue, yes.
I'm Googling something real quick. Hang on one second.
Are you getting in the Googs?
Yeah, I was gonna Google something real quick. I was gonna see if I could find the book of numbers that I used to own. I owned it when I was a teenager. Then for some stupid reason, I got it again, and I'm not entirely sure it wasn't the same copy.
Really?
Yeah. And it was like completely, because as previously stated, I lived all over. Like, I was born in Texas, but I was raised all over. Like, we lived all over the South. My granddad was in the trucking industry, and they headhunted him whenever it was that somebody decided that he had skills they needed, they would throw more money at him than what he was making, and off we would go. So this was completely two different states, and I can't find it now, but it had it was a book of numerology. But let me go back. So I put you down. No, come back. Where did you go?
Put me down.
I accidentally minimized you.
Oh,
and I should never. I should never minimize the bestest person in the world.
I love you.
I love you. You are my person.
You are my person. We are persons together.
That's usually how it works. There it is.
Yeah.
Persons
We're
together.
people.
So now that I can see your face again. Okay, so it was I can't remember exactly the name of the book, and I know it was a book about numerology. It's how I learned how to use numbers to decide if this was right for me or that, and because when you're 16, like, all of that, when you're 16 and you're like we are, all of that is super interesting to you. But I just remember I don't even remember the author. I know it was a black book. It was about not very thick, about yay thick, and it had this lion-looking demon head face on the front of it. I knew when I said that you were going to give me a face.
I have to, after the podcast, we're going to make a trip to my shed.
But
we're going to make a trip to my, because I am not allowed to keep my spooky things in the house.
I don't begin to wonder why.
So Gary makes me haul everything away, but really it's just in the shed in the attic where he just thinks it's a bunch of old baby clothes from Buggy.
And, I don't think it was specifically only about numerology. I think it was about demons. I remember, I think that's probably the first time I read about Anton LaVey. And
did you ever sign the book or anything?
I don't think I did, but I know I wrote in it because there was a number chart in the back that told you what number corresponded to what letter. And it had to do...
Okay.
It had to do with you do all the math and then you divide it down into two numbers and then down into one number, and that told you whether it was a good idea, a bad idea, or a purple idea, if you get my meaning. Like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to take a trip to the shed later.
I like to go to the shed with you, baby.
Oh, girl, stop.
Threaten me with a good time.
Don't have to ask me twice.
I was so sad I said that on our Krampus episode, and, you did not even... Like I had never said it, and I was like, oh, wah, 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 sad face.
I always try to be super, until I figured out how good the audio was going to be. I listened to, all of our episodes the last few days, in depth.
When I couldn't sleep last night, I turned on our podcast.
Hell yeah, that works.
And I went...
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, Michelle.
It was a good thing because, listen, I listened to this guy on YouTube called Busta. He got this Australian accent and he tells spooky ass stories.
I love that.
And it is, if you ever want to listen to him, if you have time, I know you're busy between your work and Gary and Buggy, but it's B-E, like the word B, and then a period, and then capital B, B-U-S-T-A, Busta.
Yeah, it's on my list of things to try. I wanted to listen to him. I just got into that lady that, she probably hates me now because I'm going to disprove her on that. But
Auntie Colette.
I just got into her. Yeah.
Because, every time, and I really like her, but sometimes I'm just like, let me explain something. And
I just feel so I saw the TikTok that you sent me that she talks about that. And all I could think was, calm down, Zach Baggins. There's no soul here. Shut up,
Sometimes she gets on a rant, and here lately she's been on a rant about this movie, something about Left Behind, or the world Left Behind, or something like that. That supposedly the Obamas have made or had a hand in making, or something like that. And I'm like, okay, calm down, Martha. It's a YouTube movie, or not a YouTube. It's a Netflix movie. Calm down, Martha. It's fine. Look at this while you're putting on your makeup. Look what I got. One of the girls. It was in their stocking.
Oh, that's pretty.
$2. I paid $2.
Those are cute. You got $2?
I paid
It's a high quantity.
But no, I really, really like her content, and she is really amazing. But I feel like she's off the mark sometimes, and getting on this, she made approximately 3,722 videos on this Leave the World Behind movie.
Yeah, she's got to calm down with that shit. Nobody should live with that much negativity in their lives. Here's the thing, and some of the stuff she said, I get it. I'm gonna close my bag of chips real quick. So sorry. And I get it. I do. But listen, Linda, if the world is gonna end, there's not a fucking thing we can do about it.
Here's my problem with that. Here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you the problem I have with her. We're in the end of days.
Yeah.
She's a Christian. She has renounced all of the things, which is fine. I also am a Christian. But if you're going to be a Christian, know your Bible. The Bible literally says we are going to have, 100 years of peace in the Middle East before the end of the world. We can't even get a year of peace in the Middle East, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say that they're not very peaceful. I mean, it's not like Smurf Town, you know, like they're shooting each other.
So, like, we might be in some pretty rough days, but I really honestly don't think we're in the end of days.
No. And I don't, listen, even if we were, what the fuck would we do about it? Nothing.
Well, one of two things is going to happen. The rapture's going to be happening, and you're going to be yeeted out of here, which you and I talked about the rapture the other day. I don't remember if we did that on the pod or not. But either the rapture's going to happen and we're going to be yeeted out of here, or the rapture's going to happen and you're not a believer and you're going to be sitting here looking at each other going, well, I guess we'll wait for the nukes to hit.
So the Mormons weren't right. Like that was the joke they had on Family Guy. Please don't come for me. It was a joke.
Can we talk about how many times the Simpsons have been right, though?
Okay, so that's some fucking.
But the reason I bring that up is because she also talks about how many times the Simpsons have predicted things.
Calm down, Zach Baggins. I'm really on that. Like, some of the stuff she posts is really good. I think her older stuff is really good. The more recent things she's posted, I'm kind of like, oh, you know, I was starting to like your content. Why are you being weird? But I'm not judging. Like, I mean, you do you, boo. But that was not a fart. That was my crock. I put on a crock. It made a squeaky noise. It's not a fart.
Didn't even hear it.
If you heard it, like, I'm just saying, if I ever did fart on this podcast, I would own it.
It was your
I would
crock?
do the head build. Ooh, yeah.
Listen, if I ever fart on this pod, it was my crock.
Yeah. But this time it really was. No, because if I fart, it's going to be legendary. Like, I will get, like, +4 mana for a good-ass blaster. But,
that's no moon. It's a space station.
Fuck you. But yeah, I mean, I'm not bashing Colette. I hope she doesn't put any juju on me, or anything. But I do believe a good percentage of what she says is pretty legit. But some of the stuff, the newer stuff about this stupid fucking movie, I don't care, you know, because I think she's coming a little unhinged. It's just like people that I'm going outside to smoke. Sorry, guys. People that continuously think about the end of the world are going to watch their lives pass them by waiting on the end of the world to happen.
I mean, I agree with that, right? Like, do you know how many times, and you of all people know how many times I thought, holy shit, this is it's the end of my world anyway, for sure. Mm-hmm. Like, but something always, you have to keep going until it is literally the real end of the world. But yeah. I don't think we're there yet, man. I really don't. I feel like, and believe me, I have my own issues. I have my own issues and thought processes, but I'm going to leave those for another day, and you and I can talk about those off camera. But when the Bible literally says you're going to have X amount of years of peace in the Middle East, you know, and didn't we talk about, you and me, the Antichrist will be the one to usher in those years of peace?
Yeah, see, and I'm really hoping it's not Donald Trump, because if it is, I'm gonna vote for him. Sorry, y'all can deal with it 100 years from now.
Oh no, some people.
My parents cost too much.
Some people think it's Elon Musk.
Elon, nah, he's not suave enough. Like, I would be upset if Elon Musk was a devil. I would like my devil to be sexy.
Oh. I like the bold, brazen way that he literally was like, people of Earth, go fuck yourselves.
Yeah.
I loved it. And he wasn't telling the people of Earth to go fuck themselves. He was literally he was telling these particular human beings to go fuck themselves. But
those advertisement companies that were holding.
Exactly. And I
This
just,
shit ransom, and I'm there for that. Like, go fuck yourself. Like, I like that. Like, I do like that. But
I
he's not the Antichrist.
I don't think so either, but I love the way, well, because because of the way that he worded it. The people of Earth will find out. Like, the people of the world will find out. It's the same thing. It's just that he is a different critter, and he words his things differently. But you know what? I'm a different critter. I say things in a different way. A lot of times I'll say something to be funny or to make an impact. You're not going to remember people of Earth. You're going to remember that man said. Or you're not going to remember people of the world, but you're going to remember people of Earth. It's impactful. He did it for a specific reason.
And he even abbreviated it, which I thought was funny. He was like, GFY. Yeah. GFY. And I'm like, oh my God, you're so cute. You're so cute. You texted that in voice.
Yes. Well, and that... It kind of probably comes back to me. I can't see shit. So a lot of times I talk to text, and then sometimes when I will completely forget that I'm not talk to texting. I'm literally holding down the record button to send you a voice text, and I'll be like LOL or whatever. And I know you're on the other...
However, comma.
Oh, I've said that forever though. But I know you're on the other end of that, listening to that voice text, just pissing yourself laughing because I said LOL or comma or period or whatever, because I literally forget, because I voice to text so much because my diabetic eyeballs are getting bad that sometimes I forget that I'm voice texting.
I do that shit.
But I think he found a way to say what he had to say in quote unquote people of Earth, that it would be memorable. He wanted them to remember what he had to say, and it wasn't necessarily go fuck yourself that he was trying to get them to remember, as much as it was the whole of what he had to say. Y'all just hide and watch. Y'all gonna find out, people of Earth.
Yeah, no, he was bomb. I don't think he's the Antichrist.
No,
I don't even know if the Antichrist was to come, it wouldn't be in our time.
You know who it is?
I don't think. A lot of people think it's our time, but I don't. Nah. What I do foresee our future being, and you're gonna laugh, if you've ever seen Idiocracy.
I have, but it's been a long time ago.
It's pretty. People are so dumb that they're watering plants with Gatorade, and they can't figure out why the plants aren't growing. And
well, dude,
that's
we're
kind of
getting
where
there.
we're at.
We're getting there pretty quick, fast, and in a fucking hurry. I'm here to tell you, I can't. So I'll tell you a story, and it's not making fun of my daughters. It's making fun of this fucking Oklahoma education system.
Right.
We sat down with them and had conversations. They could not, for the life of them, tell you. I can't even remember any specifics at this point, but like we were doing the states and the states capitals. They were like, Kentucky, is that a city? Kentucky's a whole ass state, bitch. Pay attention.
Yeah, like the education system. Now, okay, so this is the only thing I would say that would be the devil's advocate to the Antichrist coming around now. Okay, because I'm going to sound like a hypocrite because I'm like, I don't think it's in our time. But if the Antichrist was to come, okay, I don't know how we got on the Antichrist, but we're here now. It's spooky still. If the Antichrist was to come, then the goal for me, if I was the Antichrist, I would make sure that the newest generations that are supposed to fight me off would be dumb as shit.
Yes.
And uneducated.
Yes.
And so, why are you laughing?
I'm not trying to. You have valid, important things to say, but sis, the video feed keeps freezing, but the audio feed doesn't. And so, then you'll be like, catch up, like it, like hurries up and catches back up, so you're doing everything in fast forward, but the audio is like still exactly the same. Sorry, didn't mean
No,
to
you're good.
do that.
You're good. But I would make the new generation dumb.
For sure. Absolutely. And look. Okay. This right there, can you see that? I know that
Yeah.
our viewers can't see that, or our listeners. What is that? Tell the world what you're looking at right there. That tattoo.
That is the Freemason ring. It's a ring with a Freemason signet symbol.
Okay. You know why I have that on my arm?
That was your grandpa's, wasn't it?
My granddad was a master mason.
Yeah.
I think that we're going to have to go to a part 3. Like, we are got 15 minutes left to record on this side, which is fine. We can completely do that. Because I'm about to open a whole nother kettle of worms. Because this is what I like. I like that you and I can talk. We can vibe off of each other. We can vamp for, and it's all the spookiness of the things.
So, to start that, I will say that at one point I had researched the female version.
The Order of the Eastern Star?
Yes, because in my younger years I was like, oh, women can't be Freemasons? That's some bullshit. Because I am a patriot. I am a history buff. And I really liked National Treasure. And I was younger. And
yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm going to be a Mason. Well, I couldn't be one because I have a vagina. And what I found interesting is somebody who collects occult books and things that are dark. Their star symbol is very similar to one used with satanic worship. And I'm not saying it's a pentagram or it's just a star. It's just that there's certain colors and certain patterns on the star that are used that look a little bit too suspicious. And there's actually a lodge. The nearest one to me is a couple hours away. It's in
no, it's not.
Belmead,
oh,
Texas.
Yes, it is. You're right.
I had seen it, and it had a very interesting. There was an interesting connection between that star and a satanic star. That's all I'm going to say for that one.
To be a member of the Order of the Eastern Star, you have to be married to a Freemason.
Yeah.
Have to be.
Yeah.
You can't be, like, you can walk in to, as a male, you can walk into a Freemason lodge and you can sign up, essentially. You have to go through rites of passage. And I don't know what they are. They're very, 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 very secretive. Okay? But my granddaddy was a master mason, which means he did all the things. He was the head of the lodge in Mertz, Texas for several years. On the flip side of that, my granddad was a very Christian, devout man. So, I'm conflicted about the Freemasons.
I am too, because I know a few Freemasons that are older, that are supremely Christian and devout. But here's my thing. I've read a lot of scary stories and theories. Now, if you knew some bad shit was going down and you just played with a whole bunch of bad juju, wouldn't you want to try and find God real quick?
True story.
So, I don't know. Because once you're in, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know much about it.
I mean, it's kind of like the mafia.
Missing, I'm going to be so upset.
I think it's kind of like the mafia. I think that, once you're in the family, you're in the family.
I believe that.
But, I mean, again, I don't know. But it's all tied up. It's all tied up, and it's what I want to go into. Like, we're just kind of teasing now what the next episode is going to wind up being, because it's all tied up in the elitists. It's all tied up in the lizard people, if you will.
Okay.
All of that stuff goes hand in hand. Brings me to conspiracy theories, because there was a fire several years ago. Paradise, California burned the fuck to the ground. And 90% of that town burnt down. But if there's a fire that hot, How can you have a fire that's so hot that's melting the metal off the cars 2 feet from a plastic trash bin that doesn't melt at all?
Also, it sounds very similar to the blue roof thing and the shit that went down in Hawaii. That was all over TikTok. And, you know, TikTok is my form of news.
Well, the thing about it is, TikTok is the most trustworthy of news for the simple fact that that's the main social media right now. I mean, you know, it is what it is.
It's true.
It's not like you can go to CNN or any of that stuff and get the real news. You can't. I see a little critter hiding.
We're sharing milk and cookies. She's being good so we can pod today.
That's good. That's awesome.
She's a good girl.
She is a good girl.
She's going to go put on a Pokemon costume.
Right on.
She's off school until next Tuesday. We give Christian holidays off. Like I said, we are Christian.
Yeah, absolutely.
We give Christian holidays off. She does work through the summer, but that's more because she just likes homeschool. And so it's good. But yeah, no, we can still pod. I'm just going to make her some breakfast because I let her sleep in today. And we can totally pod again.
Yeah,
I'm totally
for sure.
down. And are we throwing out 3 in a day? Are we throwing that axe?
We could throw the axe at 4 if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like we still have 9 minutes that maximum that we can record in this particular episode. I don't necessarily want to dive too deep. I'm just saying Freemasonry. And the only reason I even bring it up at this point is because Colette gets into all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, so it's right on topic with where we were. Freemasonry, the elitists, the reptilians, all that stuff. It's spooky. And the reason that it is extremely spooky is because how much of it is, it scared me. What was that? She scared me. What was that, Buggy?
Hey, you say hi to Aunt Michelle? Say hi, Aunt Michelle. We're doing a podcast, so you can't say too much, but you can say hi to Aunt Michelle if you want.
Oh, she's showing me all her critters from, I'm assuming, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Cartoon cat, bending ink machine, SpongeBob from Five Nights at Freddy's.
Very cool. Those
Go get me more cookies.
Go get you more cookies. Hold on. Let me and Aunt Michelle finish our podcast.
I can't eat these.
No, you cannot have hot Cheetos.
Milk. Give me those milks.
Okay, you can have my milk.
Wait, you didn't slop on that milk, right?
I just dunked my cookies in it. You germaphobe. No, I didn't double dunk. What kind of monster do you think I am?
Hey, you can only drown one cookie at a time.
Yes. I didn't drink out of it. I just dicked cookies.
Get my melatonin.
It's not melatonin.
I don't care what it is. It tastes like melatonin.
It tastes like...
Get it.
Hold on. So, okay, but that's my product of the day. That is my product of the day.
Oh, what was your product
Before we go. It is Ollie. It's Ollie Chillax for kids. It's all natural stuff. All natural ingredients.
Ollie. I love Ollie.
Yeah, and we don't do melatonin or anything like that. Her doctor had recommended melatonin, and I didn't like it, and her sleep pattern was really weird. And then I did research, and I'm like, melatonin is terrible, and I'm not doing that to my child. But I found Kids Chillax, and it's for a calm mind and body. It's just 3 things. It's a little bit of magnesium, L-theanine, and lemon balm. It's just natural extracts. It does help with going to sleep or just chilling out during the day, and just like when she's overstimulated or upset, they can have 2 a day. She gets 1 in the morning, 1 at night. I've noticed a major difference in behavior, appetite, all the things. Get after breakfast, calm down. But we have to keep them in my room. They are gummies, but
Yeah.
that would be my product of the day for sure.
Love it.
And I highly recommend it. I really do. As a mom, I recommend it.
Yeah, here for it. Quick story. You said melatonin is bad. I have to tell you a funny story. It's a funny to exit out on, and then we'll slide into our intro. Facts. There is a product named Dr. Teal. They make all the good stuffs. But Dr. Teal has a melatonin bath.
Oh.
And I did not know, because, my blind ass isn't trying to read something. I was at my sister-in-law's house. I was going to take a hot bath. I saw in the cabinet that there was bath salts, smelled like lavender, threw like a very liberal amount of bath salt into the bath water, sealed it up, put it back in the cabinet, got into the bath water. I probably was in that bathtub maybe 15 minutes. I was out like a light. Gone. And when I came to, and the bathwater was ice cold, and I got out of the bathtub, I felt like I had been drugged. I slept. This was like 2:30 in the afternoon. I went, laid down. I did not wake up again until the next morning. So be careful, read the packaging, and Dr. Teal, your melatonin bath salts are the bomb.
You're just lucky you survived it.
I didn't measure. It was just dumping it all in my bath water. Yeah, so good story. We're going to stop here. We'll go ahead and go into the intro, and we are going to pick it up next episode. We're going to kind of get into some of that stuff because, like I said, my granddad was a master mason. I have mixed feelings about the whole 9 yards, and we'll get into it then. Until that time, boys and girls, we'll catch you on the next episode. Stay spooky, and here's our outro. Well, guys, that's going to do it for our episode today. Thanks again for listening. We love you guys so, so much. Never be afraid to jump in the conversation. You can always email us at TheSpookinessofitAll@gmail.com. And you can always catch us on TikTok. I'm at Michelle Santo, MichellESZANTO. And she is
at Chainsaw Dolly on TikTok. It's just how it sounds.
So just so that you're aware, you can always reach us that way as well. With all of that being said, we hope that you guys stay spooky, and we love you so much. Keep listening, keep spreading the word, and just remember, she is still Ash Ortega.
And she is still Michelle Santo.
And you are still listening to The Spookiness
of It All.